Have you ever heard of newborn being screened for PKU? PKU is one of the disorders tested in newborns the first 48 hours after birth. For my informative speech, I will be discussing phenylketonuria, also known as PKU, which is a disorder caused by an accumulation of an amino acid called phenylalanine. I chose this topic because my nephew was born with this defect, and it has affected his life up to 18 years. About 2 weeks ago, I received the news that he was admitted into the hospital, and I became interested to learn more about PKU. Today, I will be sharing with you what PKU is, symptoms, treatments, and long-term effects. An abstract from Medline Plus gives a description of PKU being an inherited disorder that increases the levels of a substance called phenylalanine in the blood. Phenylalanine is a building block of proteins that is obtained through diet. If PKU is not treated, it can build up and be harmful to the body, causing intellectual disabilities and other serious health problems. PKU is diagnosed with a blood test. According to the National Institute of Child and Human Development, since the 1960s, doctors have screened newborns the first 48 hours of birth with the finger stick. They test for PKU and other disorders. If a newborn is diagnosed with PKU, the main way to treat this disorder is to follow a special diet, limiting foods high in phenylalanine. Infants with PKU can still be breastfed, and if the mother decides to use formula, they will use a formula called low phenolac, which is low in phenylalanine, in the protein phenylalanine. When the baby is old enough to eat solid food, they will need to avoid consuming foods high in protein such as eggs, cheese, nuts, beans, cheese, beef, and so on. Another treatment option can also be medication, such as supraterenin, which helps lower phenylalanine levels. This medication can also be used with a special PKU diet plan. The long-term outlook for patients with PKU is very good if they follow a PKU meal plan after birth. As stated by Dr. Karen Gill from Johns Hopkins University, when diagnosis and treatment are delayed, this can lead to brain damage. Some major damage includes developmental delay, behavior, and emotional problems, neurological problems such as tremors and seizures. Luckily for my family, my nephew is now out of the hospital. His body had accumulated high levels of phenylalanine without any medication. He had fainted and also thrown up blood. The doctors kept monitoring him for a week at Stanford Hospital as they got him under control. They then released him with a strict diet and medication to help lower his levels of protein after every meal. Thankfully, the doctors were able to control him without any long-term brain damage. Being informed has helped me understand what my nephew went through and also learn about a possible disorder if I were to ever become pregnant. Some options can be genetic testing, which is offered to you during your pregnancy. I leave you with knowing that PKU is an inherited disorder of an accumulation of phenylalanine. It can be diagnosed through genetic testing before birth or in the first 48 hours after birth through a blood test. Treatment options include a strict diet or medication. Luckily, patients with PKU can live a happy life if they follow a strict diet. Thank you.